Good morning, students. Today in economics, we are going to learn lesson number 1, the story of village Palampur. I know you all like stories, right? This chapter is in the form of story. Before I begin with this lesson, I want you all to take out your books and pens so that you can jot down some important points. Let's begin. The purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production. So what's the purpose of this story? Yes, the purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production. And this we do through a story of a hypothetical village called Palampur. Hypothetical village means imaginary village. So don't search for this village Palampur on the map, you won't get it. It's imaginary village. And what's the purpose of this story? The purpose of the story is to introduce some basic concepts relating to production. Let's move further. Farming is the main activity in Palampur. As you all know, students, in all the villages, farming is carried out on a large scale. Farming is the main activity or the main occupation, right? So in Palampur also the main activity is farming. Along with farming, we have few other activities which are carried out on limited scale. Let's see. They are small scale manufacturing, dairy and transport. So along with farming, we have some other activities like small scale manufacturing, dairy and transport. Okay. Next, Palampur is well developed and connected with neighboring villages and towns like Raiganj and Shahpur. Students, Raiganj is the village which is 3 kilometers away from Palampur, and Shahpur is a small town. Okay, so Palampur is well developed and connected with neighboring villages and towns like Raiganj and Shahpur. An all-weather road connects the village Palampur to Raiganj and further on to the nearest small town of Shahpur. So Palampur has got an all-weather road that connects the village Palampur to Raiganj and further on to the nearest small town of Shahpur. I hope it's clear, students. Now let's learn about the various means of transport available in Palampur. So we can see the picture of bogies. Bogies are nothing but the wooden cart that is drawn by buffaloes. So we have bogies, we have bullock carts, we have tongas. Not only these, but we have jeeps, motorcycles, we have tractors, we have trucks. Okay, so these transport system or these means of transport are very much essential for the movement of goods and people from one place to another. This village has about 450 families. How many families, students? 450 families belonging to several different castes. So different caste of people live over here. The 80 upper caste families. How many upper caste families are there in Palampur? Yes, 80 upper caste families. The 80 upper caste families own the majority of land in the village. So majority of the land in the village is owned by the upper caste families. Okay. Their houses, some of them quite large, are made up of brick with cement plastering. So how are the houses? Yes, the houses are made up of brick and they are plastered with cement. Okay. And the scheduled caste people. Okay. The scheduled caste comprise 1/3 of the population and live in one corner of the village and in much smaller houses, some of which are made up of mud and straw. So the scheduled caste, they comprise 1/3 of the population. Whereas we have learned that 80 upper caste families own the majority of land in the village, whereas scheduled castes, they comprise 1/3 of the population. And what about their houses? Yes, smaller houses made up of mud and straw. You can have a look over here, students, and see the difference. The houses of upper caste families and the houses of scheduled caste people. Lot of differences, right? Okay, now let's proceed further. Most of the houses have electric connections. So good, this village has got good electric connections, right? Electricity powers all the tube wells in the fields and is used in various types of small business. So have a look of the image of tube wells here. Yes, it's used for irrigation purpose as well as for small business. Palampur has 2 primary schools and 1 high school. So the children in this village are quite lucky because this village has got 2 primary schools and 1 high school. There is a primary health center run by the government and 1 private dispensary where the sick are treated. So we have good healthcare centers also in Palampur. So it's very clear, students, that Palampur has fairly well developed system of roads, transport, electricity, irrigation, schools and health center. So Palampur is a developed village. Okay. Now let us move further. We use number of goods and services every day, right? For example, food we eat, clothes we wear, appliances that we use. We also avail many services like banks, transportation, etc. All are made available to us through production. So let's learn more about production now. Organization of production. The first requirement is land. The second requirement is labor. And the third requirement is physical capital. Physical capital is of 3 types: fixed capital, working capital, and human capital. Now let us learn in detail about all these. First, let us start with land. Whether you want to produce crops, set up an office, or build a factory, what will you require? Yes, of course, you will require land. The first requirement will be the land, right? The first requirement is land and other natural resources such as water, forest, and minerals. So, along with land, you will also require water, forest, and minerals. I hope it's very clear, students. Next is labor, that is people who will do the work. So first requirement is land. Now let us see the second requirement. It's labor. Labor, people who will do the work. Some production activities require highly educated workers, right? And other activities require workers who can do manual work. Students, you can have a look over here. Yes, this is the image of the highly qualified people, and this image tells us about the people who do manual work. Okay, unskilled laborers also we can tell. So some activities require highly educated workers and some activities require the people who do manual work. Okay, but whatever it is, every activity, but in every activity labor is important, labor is vital. So I hope it's very clear, students. Now let's proceed further. Physical capital. Tools, machines and buildings can be used in production over many years and are called fixed capital. So, what is fixed capital, students? Yes, tools, machines and buildings. They can be used in production over many years. They will not get used up in production activities. Okay. Tools and machines range from very simple tools such as farmer's plow to sophisticated machines. You can have a look over here. So here's a farmer's plow. Here's an image of sophisticated machines. Sophisticated machines means advanced and complex machine. Okay. So tools and machines range from very simple tools such as farmer's plow to sophisticated machines. So these plow and sophisticated machines you can use for many years. It will not get used up in production process. So I hope it's very clear. You all have understood fixed capital. Next is some examples of sophisticated machines like generator, turbines, computers. They are more advanced, right? They are complex. Here's the image you can view. Image of generator and computer. These are sophisticated machines. They are more advanced and complex machines. Next, learn about working capital. Production requires a variety of raw materials, right? For production process, you would require raw materials like yarn used by the weaver and clay used by the potter. So yarn will be the raw material for the weaver. Clay will be the raw material for the potter. Some money is always required during production and to buy other necessary materials. Of course, capital, money is very important in production process. So this raw materials and money, they are the examples of working capital. They are called as working capital. They will get used up in production process. You cannot use it again and again. Okay, so raw materials and money, they are the working capital. They will get used up in production process. Raw materials and money in hand, the working capital. As unlike tools, machines and buildings, these are used up in production. So fixed capital will remain for many years. Okay, and working capital will get used up. So I hope it's very clear, students. I will explain this with the help of an example. Let us take the example of potter. Now for the potter to make pots, he will require money to purchase clay, right? Clay is a raw material, right, for making pots. So this money and clay, these are the working capital. They will get used up in the production process, that is making of pots. But what about the wheel? Yes, wheel is a fixed capital. The potter can use the wheel again and again. So I hope it's very clear, students. You got the difference between working capital and fixed capital. I hope it's clear. Next we will learn about the human capital, that is the human beings, the people who work. Human capital is the fourth requirement. We will need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor and physical capital and produce an output. First of all, you should know what is enterprise. Enterprise is the ability to think of some new activities or ideas and make them work. So human capital is very essential in the production process because we need knowledge and enterprise to be able to put together land, labor and physical capital so that we can carry out production, we can produce things. Okay, so I hope it's clear, students. You all understood human capital. So every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital, which are also known as factors of production. So factors of production, you may have question related to this. So land, labor, physical capital and human capital are known as factors of production. And every production is organized by combining land, labor, physical capital and human capital. So students, I hope it's very clear. Till now we have studied about the village Palampur, right, and the factors of production. Now it's time for quiz. I hope you all are ready. Let's start. Which one among the following is not fixed capital? Option A, machines. Option B, buildings. Option C, tools. Option D, raw materials. Yes, students, what's the answer? Which one is not the fixed capital here? Machines, buildings, tools, raw materials? Yes, the correct answer is raw materials. Very good. Next question. Which of the following transformed the system of irrigation in Palampur? Option A, tube wells. Option B, Persian wheel. Option C, rainwater harvesting. Option D, none of these. Yes, students, which one is the correct one? Yes, option A, tube wells. Very good. The next question. Money in hand is an example of human capital. Option B, fixed capital. Option C, working capital. Option D, physical capital. And the correct answer is, yes students, what's the correct answer? Money in hand is an example of, yes, option C, working capital. Very good. The next question. What is the main production activity in Palampur village? Option A, farming. Option B, animal husbandry. Option C, transport. Option D, small scale manufacturing. Yes students, what's the main production activity in Palampur village? Yes, the correct answer is option A, farming. Very good. You all have understood this chapter very nicely. Very good students. Now, here I am sharing with you all a link through which you can access the video related to the topics we have covered today. Please view this video and don't forget to read the textbook. Okay, the remaining topics we are going to cover in the next video. Till then, bye and take care.